YouTube, like, subscribe, hit the bell notification, all those good things. Hot topic today. If you are in a relationship, whether it's new, whether it's somewhere down the road, if you are in a relationship, you will eventually come across the topic of money. You'll eventually come across the topic of money. It's inevitable. Why is that? Well, there's a couple of sayings. You know, if you show me how you spend your money, that lets me know where your heart is. That's one saying. So, you know, for us males like me, generous, I like to dope and do nice things for my wife. She may be watching. You know, this is a conversation we had, and it is not for pats on the back or accolades, because quite frankly, I don't need that. You know, this is how I am. I don't need it, but you like to hear it. It's kind of like I was telling her. I said, hey, I dote about you all the time. You the baddest cook. You do this. You do that. We actually don't need it, but we need to hear those heartfelt things. You know, usually when it comes to the topic of money, and my background has been in psychology, theology, and Christian counseling. So I have had the opportunity to be the ear on many couples, and they say there's two major topics or arguments, and that's sex and money. Either you know, another saying, you know, there's no romance without finance. That is a double-edged sword. That goes for the women and the men. That goes for the women and the men. You know, men, we love to be treated too. It doesn't matter if, you know, if you give a gift and somebody's not using it. I had one of my brothers gave me a speaker box, a very nice speaker box, and I didn't ask for it. I didn't use it, and he took it back. Once you give a gift, depending on whether that person utilizes it, I've given my wife many gifts, you know, that I can go through the house and be like, hey, you know, this is still sitting here. This in my previous marriage, I gave a gift, and if it wasn't used, I didn't take it back. I just took it for myself. I said, well, you ain't using it, I use it. Facts. But it doesn't matter if that person doesn't use it. Once you give the gift and you give it from your heart, it doesn't matter if it's being utilized or not. It doesn't matter. You know, I got a friend, he sends me guitars. I got 2 of them. I haven't had a chance to pick them up because I've been so busy working, planning for a wedding and making this thing called money. A lot of times when we have this argument about money, either somebody's not making enough of it, somebody's feeling that they're, and it all comes down to, you know, okay, well, I'm working extra hard to put this on the table. Usually, when that happens, if there are no kids involved, keep this in mind, or one kid. I had this argument come by with just one kid. It's like, hey, I'm doing all this. I'm trying to do A, B, C, and D, but so-and-so doesn't want to keep up the pace with me. It's all about being on the same goal. And I used a statement and I said, so-and-so, we are great right here, but in this avenue, we're still living as separate people, and that should not be the case. That's how divorce happens. That, quite frankly, that's what happened last time. That's exactly, hey, I'm sitting there working, and yeah, I'm treating, I love doing it, because I'm supposed to. That's what I love to do. Didn't complain. You know, but when there's goals in mind about, okay, we need to get a house, blah, blah, this, blah, blah, that, doesn't matter what's being spent or what's being asked for or not asked for. I didn't ask for it, but it all equates to, financially speaking, are you guys on the same path? You guys can be on a great path sexually. You guys can be on a great path friendship-wise. However, one of the biggest factors in relationships is finance. I'm doing all this, so-and-so's ruining their credit. I'm doing this, and so-and-so's not doing this. I'm making sure this is set aside so A, B, C, and D can be okay. Blah, 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 blah. I'm out there doing the hustle. Hustle's not, it all ties down to that, because money also equates to time. Money, if I'm going to say this again, men that like to take care of their women, which is cool, they like to be taken care of back in the same fashion, even if they got it all. I told my wife now, I say, hey, one day I want you to drive up and throw me the keys to a Porsche. Don't have to, but it'd be cool. Somewhere down the line, hey, there you go. I've seen that done because of what that husband has did. I gave bought another car, got my wife a car. There you go, babe. I know you didn't ask for, but I know you needed A, B, C, and D. Because men, we provide and we protect at the same time. If there are no kids involved in the relationship, both people need to be going at it full throttle. So number one, resources can add up quickly. And number two, it's like we won't have to be out here beating and pounding these streets. She don't have to be in the office, A, B, C, and D, because I love my wife and I thank God for her. And like I told her, I said, hey, I appreciate you doing this. I appreciate you wanting to do A, B, C, and D. But what we're doing here, not unless I put you in A, B, C, and D. This is we're still moving at the same pace. We're still, and I say I appreciate it. And there are no requirements because I'm good on my own. But I don't want to do finance-wise requirements. Oh, okay, well I did that. I want it to be a us thing. But no, you put your key in, I put my key in. Money we be seeing. Because there comes this thing with a company where they call it being vested. Are you financially invested in whatever you're doing? If you look at my music room, I got a financial investment in that music room. And when there's a financial investment being shelled out, there is an expectation that this is not just a hobby, but these things, when I have the time to sit down and do music, and I'm not trying to go after other things, will make money back. And that goes the same way with relationships. It's like, no, we going out on dates, and I'm not talking about having sex or anything like that, but at least sometimes, it's like, okay, what's the goal? A lot of times when people argue about finance, it's because financial goals have not been established. If they have been established, those goals are not being met. Those goals, and one of the somebodies, usually it's the more savvy financial person, always feels some type of way. Always. You're the person that's looking out for, okay, we need to be here by this time. Retirement, blah, blah, blah. We're going to get a house. Usually the more financial savvy person always is going to feel slighted. Because it's like we got to look out for each other. I'm going to delve a little bit deeper. It's like I called all of my policies up. Hey, what's the percentage? What's the payback? In the event of my demise, so-and-so's on the beneficiary. And like I said, hey, and even if I stay living, this is what it renders. Because as my spouse, partner, A, B, C, and D, I'm looking out for us and our future. I really am. And not to say that they're not, but the more financially savvy person really feels that way. You know, even if it comes to gifts, it's like, okay, you know, I hate to keep bringing up the past, but I say I got some great gifts. I don't use them. Don't use them, you know, because I'm so busy working. Got a drawer full of jewelry. Got a drawer full of jewelry. So busy working. I'm not a flashy type of person, but when I want to put those things on, they're there. When I want to show out, they're there. You know, so you can't look at it as a point of, okay, they're not using it. No, when I want it, it's like I got a truck. Nice Tundra truck. I'm in my other truck, my work truck right now. But when I want the raw power, I turn those keys and it's there and it's available for me, and I appreciate it. Got another truck in Chicago. You know, we're here in this state. But you know what? Even though that truck has probably didn't move since whenever, when it's there, you know, it's available. You know, so a lot of times when think about this, when the topic comes up about finance, the more financial savvier person, remember, it's not about who's buying who what, A, B, C, and D, but the more finance, in my experience, when I talk to couples or they get my ear about this, it's always about, I'm putting all this away. I'm making sure A, B, C, and D, blah, blah. And what happens, I'll tell you what happens. The couples, if they start living apart financially, it always leads to living apart romantically. Always. Leave a note in the comment section if I'm wrong about that. It eventually starts severing the romance. Eventually, male or female. So my advice to couples out there is make sure that you guys literally are on the same page about where you're going, where you need to be, same thing, and how you're going to get there. Topics such as finances, blah, blah, blah. It shouldn't be, I got this. And it's like I told my wife yesterday, yeah, even though you got that and blah, blah, blah. I said, my money is always going to be your money. Especially if I'm the heavier the earner. You know, it's the way it goes. If both of you are heavy earners, the male, now here's the clause. If there's no kids involved, if both of you are heavy earners, that male should take on the entire responsibility of the house. Bills, blah, blah this, blah, blah that. And the female, or whatever, you know, male, you know, it's different in today's generation, but the other person's job is to store away, because in the event that that man's body breaks down, because we die before the women, or something happens, and he can't do it anymore. Now, mind you, I got stuff set, but in the event that this happens, well, this is what we have. This is what we have. That is how it should be taken. Hey, you know, every couple goes through it. Every couple goes through it, whether they go through it early, whether they go through it late. You guys got to be on the same page. It got to be on the same page. Even though we say there's no expectation, there is an expectation to be on the same page. There is an expectation for growth. There is an expectation as to where we're headed as a unit. You know, we expect to be here by this time. And that word came in with time. The only thing that makes that happen sooner is money. Is money. I had a thing. I said them pools ain't gonna clean themselves. So let me know what you think about this. Peace.